It takes many instances to build a wall between two men, brick by brick. Sometimes you're not aware of the building of the wall, and sometimes you are, though not always strong enough or willing enough to kick it down. It starts very early, as it did with my father and me, very early. And it becomes a pattern that is as hard to break down as any stone, brick, or mortar my father ever built. Time will not level it, only death. See, I don't know if my father ever remembered one such incident. He never mentioned of it to me, but I often thought it was the emotional cornerstone of the wall between us. He rushed out the door and down in the schoolyard. It was the first game he'd ever been to. I hadn't told my father about the game, no. I was afraid he'd show up and embarrass me. 12 years old and ashamed of my old man. Ashamed of his dialect, his dirty overalls, his fingers with the fingernails lined with dirt, his teeth yellow as old ivory. But most of all, his lunch pail. That symbol of the working man. No, see, I wanted a doctor for a father, a lawyer, a fireman, anything but a carpenter. See, that wasn't good enough for me. I remember stepping up to the bat. It was the last of the ninth. We were tied with no one on base. And then I saw him, right near third, grinning and gesturing to the man beside him. I pretended not to see him. In anger at myself, I swung hard on the first pitch. There was a hollow crack, and the ball shot low over shortstop's head for a double. The next batter bunted and I made third. He was only a few feet away now, my father. But still, I refused to acknowledge him. Instead, I feigned concentration at the pitcher. And when the next pitch bounced between home plate and the catcher, I slid home to win the game. And there he was, jumping up and down, showing those teeth. Excited as hell. And as the crowd broke up and the team stampeded out of the schoolyard, I looked back once through the wire fence to see my father, sitting on the now empty bench, alone, just staring at the cinders between his feet. Just staring. I don't know how long he stayed there for. It could have been till dark. I do know he never came to another game of mine. That night at supper, he never mentioned being there. He just went to bed, unusually early.